From Tobacco Republic in Loomis, California, the Loomis Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Welcome back to another episode. Scott Robinson with you for another episode. So glad you could join us. Going to go around the room, see how everybody's doing. I'm going to go first to the CEO of Gorilla Industries. Hey, Gorilla, how you doing over there in the enclosure?
Not great. Gorilla Industries' market share has dropped significantly. But other than that, we're doing great. Buy now.
Tell me, how are the tariffs affecting Gorilla Industries?
Bananas.
I don't know. Where the fuck are my bananas?
Bananas.
My
bananas
$10 banana is now $17.85.
Bananas are now too expensive.
We have no bananas today. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
For one of the most Monday I've ever had, not too bad. Got a good cigar, got a studio audience today. It's a good day.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Lawrence, what
Fuck
up?
this Monday and the horse it rode in on.
Everybody's just having a horrible Monday. Why? It's been a great day.
Would you have the day off?
No. No. I got up at 4:30 and diligently worked.
Meat production quota, going to get that bonus?
Yeah, okay.
While you're leisurely sipping the scotch there, can you pass your lighter, sir?
Of course I can.
Bless you.
There you go. You are doing the Lord's work. So we got a lot to cover tonight. So, hey, stay aboard. Greg is going to talk about what we're smoking now. I'm not smoking it quite yet. I'm the outlier right now because I am enjoying an Esteban Carrera's Devil's Hand.
It's a good cigar.
It's a very
If I
good
remember
cigar.
right, wasn't that the one that they gave us at... They gave it to us at Rocky Mountain. It was not Rocky Mountain,
PCA.
at PCA.
Yes.
And it had a really great story to go with it, which I wish we would have recorded.
I didn't know I'd be smoking this. We had a couple of folks in the shop, so I figured I'd grab a stick, and the proprietor said, hey, have you tried this one? I told him I had tried it already, but he says, hey, smoke it on me. How can I say no?
You don't say no at that point.
No shit.
I think I should take 5 for later.
Am I loud enough?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay, just checking. Okay, so let's talk about the cigar for today. This cigar was kindly provided by the good folk at Traveling with Cigars, LLC. Tonight's cigar is the My Father MF the Judge. It is the 2024 Cigar of the Year from Cigar Aficionado, handmade in Nicaragua at the Garcia Family Industrial Park in Esteli. It is a 5.5 by 46 Corona Gordo. The wrapper, anyone want to guess? No guesses. Okay.
Criollo.
The wrapper is a Sumatran Oscuro.
Oh.
Binder is a Corojo Criollo. And the filler, of course, is your favorite Nicaraguan.
Yes.
Cloaked in a gorgeous dark brown Sumatra Oscuro wrapper whose subtle sweetness hides its inner strength. The full-bodied blend is rounded out by 3 different Nicaraguan fillers. All are grown on the Garcia's farm, as well as the Corojo and Criollo binder. Offered in 3 box press sizes, 6 by 56 Toro, 5 by 60 Gran Robusto, 6.5 by 52 Toro Fino, plus the 5 5/8 by 46 Corona Gorda that are packed in an elegant 23 count box that we're smoking now. This was actually made to echo My Father lines from yesteryear. So, good cigar.
This draws back to the My Father cigars of 15 or 20 years ago, for sure. For sure.
Well, I will get to that shortly. Larry and I are drinking some Sheldag single malt Scotch whiskey, 12 year. I discovered this about 5 years ago over at Total Wine when I was looking for a good Scotch. At the time, it sold for $29.
And what's it, 54 now?
No, it's more like around 39, 40.
Oh, okay. I thought it had gone up more than that.
There's a 15 year that is in the 60s. But this works just fine. I've had both. I love both, but hey, if you're looking at price point, this is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, this is a good. This is a keeper.
Yeah, founded in the esteemed black cabinet behind us. Here we have a kind of honor system. You can bring a bottle in as long as the proprietor's not serving and you're serving yourself. It's all good. So ABC cannot come after us, or the proprietor for that matter.
Yep.
Yes.
So everyone has a bottle or two in there, and I just happened to look, and I had a little bit left, so I said, why not?
It's a good show to die on. Today is a good day to die.
We're back to Star Trek, Lawrence.
Of course. So I know Larry's been lighting it for a little bit here. Gorilla and I just lit it up. Gorilla, what are your initial thoughts on that first few puffs?
Not really sure. Nothing that stands out particularly to me yet. But
Okay.
I'm curious to see why it is.
The draw's a little tough. We're having a little bit of trouble here.
Okay. Curiouser and curiouser. That's one of my... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Larry noticed I cut mine twice and got a little bigger opening on the cap and not having that bad of a draw.
My
Pass
draw is
that
not
over,
too
would you?
bad. The only thing I'll mention is there's
There you go, sir.
something a little, I don't know if sweet's the right word, maybe floral.
Mm-hmm.
There's something, I like that. Whatever that is, I like.
Right.
But
My guess
especially
would be
since we're all in the room smoking it, it's kind of permeating the room. It's not bad at all. But
well, it's kind of. I think there's another floral note coming in too. I see that nub cafe over there, or nub nuance.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Lisa's cigar over there.
Yes.
For those of you that
caught
don't know, one of our regulars here at TR has joined us to see how we produce this disaster train wreck. So we'll see what she thinks by the end of it. But no, I agree with you, Gorilla. There is a definite floral note. I think it's probably, my guess would be that Sumatra and Oscuro wrapper, because that's going to have a sweeter undertone to it just based on the Sumatra tobacco.
Yeah, I can see that.
Very, very nice.
So
Tell us more, Gregory.
let's talk some fan mail for a minute here, several minutes.
Works for me.
Lawrence put out the call last episode talking about heifers.
Oh, dear God.
Richard Dupcroft, I forgot to... Richard, you did not tell me where you came from. So, Richard D. sent us a picture. I sent it to everybody. Gorillas will get a copy of it here to put up. This is probably... Go ahead, Larry. Describe this for us.
This is your standard bucket hat that is cow print. I mean, this thing is... I would wear this. I'd wear the shit out of this.
It has ears and horns,
yeah,
Scott.
It's got little cow ears.
Oh, hell
horns.
yes.
And does it say heifer on it? I couldn't.
Yes,
pull
it does.
Yeah, there we go.
It
Okay.
says
I mean,
heifer on it.
I mean, we're looking this thing up. That's going to be in my Amazon cart.
Okay, you get that. I will wear my hat. Greg, you'll have to find a hat.
I'll find a hat.
Yep.
You got one of those Scully things that got like Viking horns on it.
I'm sure they do. I probably could find one. If not, I could glue one on one of the ones I don't like.
I like your idea of getting a Shaco for him and putting some horns on it and painting it blue.
Yeah.
You can call him Joe Rockhead.
Right. Honorary order of the water buffalo.
Yes. And then we just got to find one for Gorilla, but it might be difficult putting a hat on the Gorilla's head.
Based on the look we're getting, I don't think I even want to
the
attempt
Gorilla's
that.
going to exclude from this.
No, he's not. He's a team player. Aren't you, Gorilla?
Yeah. Something about that look screams team player.
I believe in you, Gorilla. See, I've been trying my damnedest to pump the Gorilla up, to bring the Gorilla to his proper dignity, because I was once accused of not loving the Gorilla as I should.
bro, stop calling me the gorilla. That'll help.
Kind of a resentful Gorilla these days, aren't you?
You heard it here first, folks.
Where are his bananas? Did you eat before this show?
Oh, now we're going over a Snickers reference. Okay.
No, I wasn't. I was asking legitimately if he ate.
No.
That's why. You have to
We
feed
got to get
the
him
gorilla.
some Taco Bell.
You are responsible for feeding the gorilla.
You sounds like a whole lot of people.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. Take it easy. Take it easy.
So Alex Velez, owner and tobacconist at Tabacalera Del Monte LLC, sent us an email.
Okay.
Mostly directed at Gorilla and I, but nonetheless. Gentlemen, all jokes aside, your shows are great. Really love the Star Trek episode and can't wait for another one.
Uh-oh.
So can Larry.
Those are exclusively set aside for filler when we don't record for a reason.
Yeah. Alex continues to say, nothing better than Spock and cigars. I kind of tend to agree. I'm writing to remind you of a conversation we had quite a while back. I'm a paramedic that was starting up an online cigar shop and manufacturing company. Well, I started the online shop and began adding stock. PITA. Not sure what that stands for. Didn't look it up, by the way.
PITA is pain in the ass.
Okay. I know what put some smoke in the air abbreviates to, but not this one. The cigar company will take much longer because of obvious reasons, and it'll get worse, my friend. We're going to talk about that later. Wondering if you guys were interested in learning what it takes to start a cigar shop, both online and brick and mortar. Yes, we would, frankly. Also love to contribute to the education. He says, I'm no master, but can always share what I've learned. Let me know what you guys think. Hope this finds you all well, and please send more Gorilla and Star Trek. Sorry, I'm a huge nerd. Respectfully, Alex.
Short answer. What it takes to start a cigar business? Folding green money. Lots of it. Piles of it.
Yes. Oh, wait. There's one more I forgot. Huh?
Okay.
Because it was sent to us today, in fact. Oh, for fuck's sake. There's an addendum to the email. Okay. So, as we know, Brian Ferris is a listener that we picked up. He's out in Tennessee.
Yes.
If I remember right, he's a firefighter, right, Larry?
Yeah,
I think so.
Right? Good day, LCC. It's your OG Tennessee fanboy.
Okay, dog.
Don't let anyone else claim otherwise. Done.
Ooh, wait. Uh-oh. We have a problem.
Yes, we do.
Ooh, I'm thinking cage match for an episode.
Cage match.
Multiple Tennessee fanboys.
Idaho versus Tennessee. Here we go.
Tommy versus Tennessee. Oh, our number one. Ooh. I can't even say number one fan anymore. That's going to have to be a title that's fought for.
Yes.
Okay,
My money's on this dude.
Larry designed the belt.
Hey, cue the Star Trek fight music.
I could have been home sleeping.
He says, since you're always crying about not getting any fan mail, that is, how about a request from, again, your OG fan in Tennessee? Could you do... So anyway, he would like us to put together a list of cigars we have smoked during the show. I will work on that, Brian. It might take a little bit, but I'll get that going for you. It would be nice to have a reference when I'm looking for a new stick to try. Maybe a link on the website. Yeah, that can be done. I know. It could go back and listen, but it would be way easier. Yes, you could. All 140 episodes are available for you. Anyway.
Even if you did just a list of the ones like now where we specifically smoke something for the show, that's a long fucking list.
Yeah, it is.
To do every cigar would be...
Oof.
But we'll figure it out. We'll get something up there because it's a good
doesn't have
thought.
any other hobbies.
No, not at all. Anyway, love the show as always. Hope you see you in Nashville someday. Stay smoky, Brian. However, there is an addendum I forgot to say in my other fan mail email, but a huge thank you for your condolences shout out on the loss of my uncle, Larry.
No.
Dude, just read the damn letter.
Read these, would you?
Yeah.
Larry reminds me a little of my uncle. Might be that ever so pleasant demeanor. And let me know the best mailing address for you. I will be sending you a little something. Okay, Brian, we'll get on that.
I just had an idea. So we don't get struck for copyright. Well, I don't think we'd be struck for copyright if we just get together and sing the Star Trek fight song.
Ooh. I'm out.
Get the bells. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm the bass part.
No.
Really?
The hell you say?
That's racist.
I thought the Trekker was racist. With the hard R. Dear God. Anyway, please.
Somewhere in a closet, there's two 16-year-olds going, he's talking about us.
Woo. Anyway.
So that extends the fan mail for this episode.
All right. Thank you. Keep that mail coming. info@lumiscigarcartel.com. We enjoy reading your letters, letting us know what you're smoking. And just if you want to talk about some happy horse shit, by all means.
And he's actually not lying. We do generally enjoy the emails.
Generally or genuinely?
Both.
Okay.
Good save, Gorilla.
Damn public school education.
What do you want? I went to a fundamental high school.
I'm leaving.
But yet, his use of tools is still questionable.
Yes. So, Scott, do we want to talk about your Friday?
Jesus, you all right, man?
Dying.
Spit it out.
Your Friday
Take
night
a,
before.
take a full breath. Speak slowly.
I don't know if I know how to do that.
I'm aware.
Do we want to talk about your Friday night before we get to the cigar news? Because that's a bit of a slog for that. So,
Okay.
you hosted the Pat Walsh show.
Yes, I did. And a good time was had by all meaning me.
Okay, next topic.
And more surprisingly, he was asked to come back.
Yes. Well, I did listen to the show and I did enjoy it. I listened to
you.
the first 2 hours before I had to, get ready for the Betty Buys. But I enjoyed it. And like we were discussing earlier, you have an energy, the same kind of energy that Pat does. So it really made the show fun.
Okay, right there, that means a lot.
Black Irish?
Yes, Black Irish.
Look at that.
Frosted Lucky Charms. I'll blow your ass to pieces.
There goes our General Mills sponsorship. Woo!
Yeah. General Mills. Lucky Charms and cigars. Come on, kids. Try them both.
No, I think it'd mean they were like grape nuts and Special K and stuff like that.
Smoke up, Johnny.
Based on our audience.
I don't think you can call it Special K anymore.
All right, so
Oh, dear.
Look at the gorilla's just about ready to jump off the bridge.
Differently abled K.
Yeah. That was like the look on Pat Walsh's face when I called cornhole transgender horseshoes.
What?
You weren't here for that?
No, I wasn't here for that.
We were talking about the cornhole tournament that the high school football team did as a fundraiser, and Pat's like, he was getting tongue-tied. He couldn't say cornhole. I'm like, you know what it is, cornhole, transgender horseshoes. And he just stopped. Can I use that later? I'm like, yeah, please do.
See, I have too much fun in this show. I have to warn the folks on Pat Walsh's show when I hype Beyond the Humidor. It's like just a word of warning. It's a little, how you say,
Racist.
blue. Yeah, that too. And then I fight with myself saying, should I mellow out for Beyond the Humidor because I have a quote-unquote brand now? No.
no. The Beyond the Humidor brand was established a lot longer than the other one.
It's true.
I'm starting to think it's not to the tobacco why we're getting demonetized on YouTube. Just a thought.
Could be.
I'm a-thinking.
A fire broke out at the A.J. Fernandez factory. Did y'all hear that?
Good transition, Greg.
Another one?
Another one.
Jesus.
So
There are like no firemen in South and Central America, apparently.
clearly not.
South Central America.
South and Central, not South Central.
What the frickin' frack, man?
This is going to be a joy to edit.
So anyway,
Or not, just let it run.
halfwheel.com, which, by the way, in my opinion, is one of the best sources to get your cigar news from, aside from us.
Which is basically a ripoff from Half Wheel, but thank
Basically
you.
just us reading Half Wheel.
So the factory is one of the largest in the world. It produces cigars for a long list of companies, some of the world's largest like Altadis USA and General, also some of the smaller brands like Foundation and Artisanal del Tobacco, and there are a myriad of others. AJ Fernandez operates another factory in the San Latano factory, which is about 40 miles from Esteli, so he's not completely shut down, but they did lose substantial amounts of product. Mr. Brown, I really hope you're paying attention up there in your little oasis in Boise. This will affect your favorite La Gloria Cubana. Sorry to have to break it to you. On good news, the FDA's top tobacco regulator was fired. That's Brian King. Dr. Brian King will no longer be the director at the FDA Center for Tobacco Products. Part of the Trump's administration's... Whoops.
Take a breath. Take a breath, Gregory.
No, I hit the wrong button and jumped my page. So because of the massive cuts that Trump is causing at the FDA and as well as other general facilities, some of these executives are getting replaced. So Brian was the deputy director of research translation at the CDC's Office of Smoking Health, where he worked to ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. As we know, Grandpa Biden tabled that under his administration, and the Trump administration put it on ice. It's a goner.
Okay. Good news.
Now, this one, for those of you that don't watch the YouTube channel, get on over to the YouTube channel and watch the show there, because now you can see the pictures of something that I think is freaking hideous. I can't get genuine reactions from these two.
I'm sitting right here.
Yes, you are. Because I failed to put pictures of these, but the El Septimo brand has created, as we know from seeing at the 2022 trade show, they created $5 million lighters. We went and looked at them, right?
Sort of.
So anyway, the $5 million lighters were created back in 2022. They had 250 carats worth of precious stones and were valued at a ridiculous amount. In 2023, they came out with a 17-pound ashtray with 4 of them, by the way, and 500 carats of stones priced at $10 million an ashtray. Well, they've really blown that out of the water now. They have done 3 Fabergé-style egg humidors. There is the El Septimo Fabergé Egg Humidor Mother's Humidor, pays tribute to St. Peter's Basilica. There's the El Septimo Fabergé Egg Cigar Humidor Empress Collection, paying tribute to Queen Sheba, and the El Septimo Fabergé Egg Humidor Ashrenpal pays tribute to the Assyrian king. They are ridiculous. They are $25 million a piece. They say they're not going to sell them, but we'll see what happens. You're talking, each weighs 120 pounds by itself. They're made of 18-karat gold, 1,500 carats of stones, including 900 carats of diamonds, 560 carats of emeralds, sapphires, and rubies, and other such precious stones.
You don't say.
I do say. Good God, what the hell?
I think we should come out with our own Beyond the Humidor. Humidor made out of like PBR cans and Triscuit boxes.
I like it.
No?
No, I like it. I truly do. Yeah. We can find all sorts of creative crap to do to it.
There we go.
If you all want to be...
do it. To do
it.
If you all want that, write in. Scott gave you the address.
There we go.
Info at LumisCigarCartel.com. You got to repeat the address because no one's going to go back.
Thank you, Vanna.
You're welcome.
Okay. Get ready to have your brains melted. As you all know, the Donald has introduced some retroactive tariffs. I was sitting and reading and really not wanting to lecture you guys on the basis of this. Fortunately, a manufacturer, I will not say who, put this out to discuss how it is, okay? So before the tariffs, the factory price plus the shipping cost equated to what it was going to be. So let's take a $4 factory cost cigar, 3 cents per cigar to ship it, gives you $4.03, okay? You then add the federal excise tax, 52.75% of the factory price, capped at basically 41 cents a cigar. So that brings your cigar up to $6 and change, we'll say, to make the math easy, right? Now, then there's an FDA user fee, which is 5 cents a cigar. So now we're still under $6. Custom duty at 92 cents, 0.092 cents a cigar. So still under $6. Total before tariff is going to be, with all the fees, so $403 plus the excise tax plus the FDA duty fee plus the custom duty fee It's $4.58 a cigar.
Okay.
Okay? After the new tariff, 18% of the factory price. So everybody's going, oh my God, this is going to make cigars go up. The Nicaraguan tariff is 18%. That's why this math is fairly easy. 18% of $4 is 72 cents. So now your final total now to the retailer at wholesale is $5.29. So are they going to go up? A little bit. Are they going to go up absorbently where we're all going to want to stop smoking? No.
I feel like we should have like the stock ticker going as you're explaining that. Feels like the CNBC Money Hour.
Trust me, a lot of the other things I was reading about it were far too convoluted. This was very, very more simple to explain. But everybody's come out, whether it's PCA, whether it's Boutique Cigars of America, whether it's the Cigar Rights of America, half the major manufacturers, everybody's put out press releases saying to expect a price increase. The reality of the situation is there going to be an increase? Yes. Is it a lot? Not horrible.
Well, thank you, Timu Jim Cramer.
Can I be Timu Tom Sullivan? That's a little nicer.
No.
Oh, okay.
You look more like Jim Cramer. Sorry.
So is it likely that the 72 cents is going to get passed on to the consumer?
Sure
Yes.
it is.
But yeah. So that's all I got for news. As you all know, when this episode comes out, PCA will be in mid-go. And as I was telling the boys this afternoon, I've got probably 200 PCA emails to go through of everybody bringing what they're bringing to the show, what it's going to be, all the different details. So it's a lot. I don't know how we're going to be delivering that because it's frankly far more information than one show can contain. So maybe we decide to do it a little bit over like next 2 months and get it all out there, but it's a damned lot of information.
Just sift through and just do the good stuff.
Yeah, I know on one respect, our good friends at Christoph are releasing their brand new packaging. That is the new thing for them for this year.
Okay.
Brandon from Apostate is releasing a 8-pack sampler in Robusto size, one of every cigar in the line, including if you need a fix for Feathered Serpents, they'll be available in that box in Robusto size.
Sweet.
I think they're also putting out a little cigarillo, if I remember right. But that's the basics because those are the two manufacturers that I talk to on a regular basis is John Fozzie with Christoph and Brandon. But there's a ton of emails. We even got an email from the new marketing director at Rabbit Air. They've got a new filter setup coming out for the A3s that we talked about, 2 years ago. I think we talked about those.
Oh, okay. Tell us about the new filter setup.
Basically, the new filter setup is they changed the carbon filter. So in the current model filter system, it's a single carbon filter. The new model is a honeycombed double carbon filter, so it's going to help more efficiently take the smoke out of the air.
And it fits the current unit?
Fits the current unit, yes. It's designed for the current A3 unit.
Nice.
Those, I
like
believe,
it.
they said would be available by the end of the year.
That's perfect because that'll be about the time I need to change mine.
Yeah, you guys have had yours for about a year.
Yeah.
Mine hasn't been used all that much, but it's about time to change that one too.
I've already changed mine once.
Yeah, I changed mine once as well.
But they're not horrible. I think the filter setup's like, what, $110 or something like
Yeah.
that?
You hit the nail on the head, about 110.
So that's all I have as far as that goes. You're into the stick, Mr. Robinson.
Yes, I
And
am.
Larry's deeper into it than the rest of us are, but thoughts?
It's putting out enough smoke for me at this point, but when you guys informed me that you were having trouble pulling from it, I just kind of played with it a little bit, rolled it in my fingers, kind of try to open up the leaves. Ooh, you gurgled on yourself.
And the computer.
Were you going to blow it off the computer or you just want it to hang there? The question is where he puts it.
Oh, look at that. Riveting TV right here.
Yeah.
Par for the course. Par
Yeah,
for the
well.
course for us. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not getting the tight draw that you guys are, but
I'm not either.
you know, it's. I think I like this one. It's, you know, I've had it for a couple of weeks now, from when Tommy brought him out here for us, and I've deliberately waited because I have one extra other than the 5 I brought tonight.
Okay.
So I deliberately waited to smoke it with you guys instead of doing a preview and see what it is. So it's nice. It's mellow. It has that sweet note. That's the Sumatra wrapper. Mm-hmm. And you're right. If we go back to when I first started coming into this lounge and My Father was on the shelf, it does remind me of the stuff that I used to get on the lighter end of the scale, like the Le Bijou and things like that.
100%.
It's not quite the time suck. For those of you that don't know what that is, we call that, it's the Don Pepin Garcia Exclusivo. It's a 9.5 by 50 Maduro. Fabulous cigar, but it doesn't have the power that this, you know, that one has way more power. This one's nice and mild, I think. I don't think it's a medium, which is what they classify it as.
No, this is a mild to full, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you. How do you think it's pairing with the Sheldag?
Not bad. This is there's a little bit of an edge because you're getting a little bit of that sweetness off the wrapper, but I think it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I like this one.
This would be a good morning cigar with some coffee too.
Right.
No doubt.
Now, it's one of those where Gorilla touched on it at the beginning of the show. There is the elephant in the room of it is the number one cigar for Cigar Aficionado's list. I'm not going to go there. I don't think we should. But if I look at a lot of the new stuff that we smoked last year, I can see where the thought process was. This is far smoother than some of the stuff that came out last year.
That's true.
But the flavor profile, I'm sorry, for me is a little bit lacking for what I would prefer. That one note, all I get is a sweet note. I'm not really picking up anything else. So I'm not really sure where to go with it.
I'm getting more of the floral, not so much sweet. But it's still pretty good. Now, I'm not going to even argue rating systems. It's basically, I would definitely say give this a try.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
What's the price point on this? Do you know?
Talk amongst yourselves and give me a minute. Let me look it up real fast.
Oh, there we go.
But Gorilla, what are your thought processes over there?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I like it. It's smooth. It's a little bit creamy. There's still that little bit of floral note. I know we're not going to go there, so I won't. I think it's a good cigar, but number one of all time for the entire year seems a bit much.
No.
But
I'll just
that
say
doesn't
that.
mean it's bad. That does not mean it's bad.
No, it's
Right.
it's a good cigar. It's just there was a lot of stuff for this to be up against.
Yeah.
There was a lot of new release for 2024, and it depends on where you're at in your wheelhouse. If you want something that's pretty smooth, pretty mild, then maybe this is your vote for best cigar of the year. If you're wanting something that's a little heavier, a little stronger, this is still a good cigar. Please try it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something with a little more punch, this may not be in your wheelhouse.
Well, and I know we beat this topic like a dead horse. This may be of the people they pull. I don't know if it's one guy at deciding it or if it's a panel of people.
I honestly don't know how they do
That
it.
may have been their favorite cigar the day they did it. My favorite cigar of this year so far is a Feathered Serpent. Not because it was a Feathered Serpent, it's because it was the Feathered Serpent I was smoking while driving down the Avenue of the Giants. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what we always come back to is it's like,
Oh, bless you, sir.
like, subjectively what's the best cigar, but objectively what's the best cigar you've had.
Yeah, there's as much to be said about the situation, or the company as it is the stick. So yeah,
Right.
but this is definitely worth throwing a couple in your humidor and putting them in the rotation every now and
Oh,
then.
no doubt.
Well, and this is a well-known cigar online website. They are listing singles at MSRP of $11.60 and a box price of $23 at $2.67.
That's ridiculously good price.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
so too. And just this is a couple of things that are coming up as I'm looking at it. They're listing this as a full strength cigar, not even freaking close. This is a mild to medium at best. Their rating of their customer base that has smoked this cigars is overall 4.61 out of 5. It's got great ratings. So I like my father line. As I said, for me, it's good, but it's just a little, I want a little bit more.
Yeah.
But would I tell anyone, don't ever smoke it? Not a chance. This is one where you guys pick one up, try it for yourself, drop us an email, tell us what you think.
Now you said they had some box press in this, something smaller?
Yeah, the bigger. The other sizes are, get back to where I was at.
See, I think if
Yes, I'm
if
21.
you wanted a little more bite out of this, you need to go smaller, like a Lancero size or something like that.
There you
It could
go.
be. This is the smaller one. So there's the Corona Gordo, which is what we're smoking now, 5 5/8 by 46. There's a Grand Reserve Robusto box pressed, 5 by 60. A Toro Fino box pressed, 6 by 52, and a Toro box pressed, 6 by 56. Those are your 4 sizes.
Now, I have an observation, and it's a silly one, but maybe somebody thinks of this other than me. As you're smoking your cigar, depending on what cigar you're smoking, and you start getting close to the band, do you get this feeling that you're taking away from the cigar as you're like dismantling the band?
Not necessarily taking away from the cigar. We touched on this earlier, 2 or 3 episodes ago. It irritates the shit out of me when you try to get the band off of something and it
It's stuck
tears
to
the
the
shit
wrapper.
out. It tears the shit out of the cigar.
Yeah.
It's glued to the wrapper, or it's like, come on.
For me, it's how much cigar is there between the bottom of the band and the foot. If there's not a lot, I'm going to be taking it off in 20 minutes anyway. I'll take it off before I start smoking. Or with this one, when it's got 2 or 3 bands and they're big and filigree, and I typically will take them off first. But if it's something that's just got a little band on it, I don't really worry about it. Now, the fun part for Gorilla is I get to extort money for if I remove that from the edit or not. That's the fun part.
Extort
Really?
for a big price.
I think she's
Yes.
going to stab you in the throat if you try.
And if that's where the negotiations go, that's where they go.
All right. Nice knowing you, Gorilla.
Goodbye.
No,
You got
but
2 more.
Wow. Yeah.
You can always make another.
Not without a lot of
Timestamp that. I want to send that to Sherry.
Not without a lot of plumbing reroute. That was good. Fucking asshole.
Adopt. I don't know.
Gorilla thought of the day. All right.
We're just going to adopt a pygmy. Because the donkey went so well, let's try a kid. Listen back a few episodes if you don't get that.
A few.
A few, like 2 years.
Yeah, there you go. I'm doing my part here.
Lawrence,
Sir.
tell us about Alabama.
Wait, huh?
Was it Arkansas, Alabama? I can't remember.
Oh, no, geez. So we were talking.
Kentucky.
Yeah, we were talking about, a couple of friends of mine and I were talking about the bar business way back in the day. And that's what I used to do half a lifetime ago was bartend, bar manage, security, all that good stuff. And the last place I worked in Southern California before I came up here was a venue that we did a lot of special events, a lot of weddings. It had a ropes course, so companies came in. We leased the ropes course out to a company called Outward Bound that did team building.
Oh, yeah.
So we had Ford. executives in, Sony North America, stuff like that. But we did a lot of weddings. We were a destination wedding place. And somebody asked me, well, you got to have some great stories. Yeah, there's been a few. So we had this couple, mid-20s. They came in for their consult. They'd already booked everything. They had a date, but they came in to talk, food, and they were using an off-site place for cake and stuff like that. And it's just about done. And the groom says, "Hey, just to let everybody know, both of our parents, he and his fiance, are divorced. The parents don't get along." And I think it was the general manager goes, "Oh, your parents and her parents don't get along?" He goes, "No. My mom and dad don't get along. Her mom and dad don't get along." Okay. So we get a little more, kind of the official part of it's over. We get a little more into that. And the guy's like, "By the way, my dad will probably be here a couple days early. His MO is he comes in ahead of schedule, scouts out everything, kind of ingratiates himself to people so that, if something goes haywire down the road, you already know him, right?" I'm like, "Okay, where's he coming in from?" "Kentucky, from Louisville," he says. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'm already profiling this person, right? Because that's what you do. And so I'm asking, just casually, talking to this guy. He's sitting in my bar now. I said, "So did you grow up out there, how'd you like it?" He goes, "No." "Okay." He goes, "Phoenix." "Oh, how'd your dad end up in Kentucky?" He says, "Well, he sold his construction business after he got caught sleeping with my aunt." And my food and beverage manager's standing there. And he goes, "Is your aunt coming?" So this is getting progressively worse, right? The guy's like, "Yeah, so just want to give you guys a heads up. My dad's a lot to deal with." It's no problem, whatever. So their event's about a month out, right? Fast forward to the Wednesday before their wedding. I'm coming to work about 4 in the afternoon. Get out of my car. I'm walking to the employee entrance, and the airport shuttle pulls up. And this guy gets out of the airport shuttle. Big dude, man. Like 6'5", 6'6", probably 3.25. He's in Wranglers and cowboy boots and a black T-shirt. He's got a beard down to his belt buckle and a black T-shirt that on the back in probably 1.5 block letters, white block letters, it says recreational gynecologist. This guy wore this to the airport, got on the plane in Louisville.
Well, who's going to say something to him?
And all I could think was, "Oh, this is going to be a hell of a weekend." And it was. It lived up to the booking. We had all kinds of fun.
How many fights broke out?
Well, during the actual event itself, none. I'm pretty sure his dad and aunt did hook up again. I'm pretty sure aunt hooked up with the boyfriend of one of the bridesmaids. Yeah, it was. This entire event, you could hear the banjo music from Deliverance in the background.
All right, I got to ask, how did the aunt look?
Heifer hat.
Damn. That's a little unkind.
I'm not a nice person. Ask around.
A little like Lord Farquaad's sister. But, so there's
I'm shutting up. I ain't saying nothing.
But yeah, the country club, that was an interesting. It was an interesting place to work because you got a little bit of everything. We had a really small staff, so it was really tight knit. so if we had a big event that was going long, I mean, you just worked more hours. And sometimes that's not a real good thing. People get a little goofy. I showed up one afternoon and and this is the middle of one of these events for Sony. And it's like day 3 of 5. And we've been working, 16 hours a day. Everybody's been working 16 hours a day. And I show up, and our head concierge and our head waitress are arguing about something, but not, like aggressive. They weren't mad at each other. They had different opinions on this, and it was kind of funny. And I don't know what made me think this was a good idea. I'm in my black and whites, and I got nothing in my pockets that can't get wet because this is pre-cell phone era, right? So I just drop my bag, and I just run and plow into both of them and take all 3 of us into the pool at like 3:45 in the afternoon, as the whole hotel is full of these Sony people that are getting off of their day's event, coming down, they're getting ready for dinner. Dude, our general manager lost his shit. Meanwhile, we all got to work. So we're all in the closet, basically, where the laundry room is, standing around in robes, waiting for our clothes to dry as everybody's, So.
Why did you do that?
Yeah,
It was just. It sounded like a good idea.
Look, in my head, it played out better than it did in actual life, which is probably 70% of the shit I do.
To use your own quote, seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Wow.
there's a little insight into your Uncle Lair. Dun, dun, dun.
It's Unky Larry.
It's Unky Larry, and you never disappoint, man, ever. So, hope some of you saw the posting.
I beg to differ on that last comment. Opinions vary. But
What posting?
If you all are loyal listeners to the show, which most of you are, right?
Some of you are.
Hopefully. We put up a new posting on Facebook. I don't know. I think it went to Instagram. I don't really know. But if you're not tired of hearing our opinions now, hear more of them. We have started the Humidor Talk blog. It is on our website, LoomisCigarCartel.com. If you're on a computer, click the button that says Humidor Talk. If you're on a mobile device, click the little bars, and the menu will drop down, and you can go there. It's thoughts, opinions. If I can get these two to write something, we'll see. Gorilla's kind of perked up about writing something, so it's going to come out at least one per week, and check out what we think. Good luck. Yes, psychological evaluations were thought of, but were far too expensive.
Yeah, I was questioned about this and didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So
Who said what? I thought I was clearly explanatory on the post, but
yeah, well, I didn't see the post when I got the 3rd degree. What's going on with this? Are you part of this?
Sherry,
of course. What's going on with this? Are you part of this? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, how can you be part of this podcast and not know what I'm talking about?
Hey, Sherry.
Pretty much every day is how I can do that.
Sherry, if it's website related, it's typically going to be me or Gorilla. If it's podcast related, these two are involved. That's how it breaks down. Another fun thing that came up on Facebook today.
Which was?
He and I have been Facebook friends for 10 years.
That's very sweet.
I'll bring out the cake.
Or one or both of us is clinically insane. I don't know which.
I haven't figured out how to hit the delete button yet.
Oh, you want me to show you? It's easy. But yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
Mm-hmm. I was expecting more rude comments from people based on Larry and I together, but, that was disappointing. But, other than that, that's all I got for the major show other than talking about our cigars. Anybody got any fun updates over there? Best Humidor or Best Care Anywhere podcast guy?
What's that?
He perked up, huh?
I don't know what the question was because I'm actually negotiating being on another podcast. So pardon me for being distracted.
Look at Gorilla. He's building his brand. I love it. What the-
Anyway,
that was
Anthony-
actually fucking sincere, and that's what I get for it? What the
Yes,
hell?
pretty much. So what's new on the Best Care Anywhere podcast, Anthony?
we are creeping ever closer to the end of season 3, which was, I want to say the goal was to get through all of MASH, but genuinely the initial goal is just get through the first 3 seasons. If we can get through the first 3, we'll make it all the way. So yeah, we just did the last 2 episodes were Bulletin Board and The Consultant. The Consultant was an interesting chat because that's where Robert Alda comes in as the outside
Borelli.
doctor that gets too drunk to do the surgery he was supposed to do. And yeah, we're creeping toward the inevitable events of the end of season 3 that unfortunately Ethan is aware of what happens but not how, so that'll be kind of an interesting discussion. Then we're off to the races for season 4, which is starting to get into my personal favorite era of the show, the kind of in-between phase as they're changing out cast.
Yeah.
So Ethan's excited, I'm excited. We have quite the eclectic is the polite word for it, group of people who follow the show. So yeah, it's been a good time. Kansas trip has officially, in fact, fun story from me. I got to talk to one of the chief investigators for fraud for Wells Fargo Bank today. That was a lot of fun. Apparently, they get really suspicious when you drop $600+ on a sketchy online payment portal and then go buy 6 hotel rooms across 5 states. So they wanted to make sure I didn't get hacked and someone was using my card to pay for human trafficking. So yeah. The Kansas trip is going forward. All the hotel rooms have been either booked and paid for or booked and paid when I get there. I'll be gone May the 31st through Tuesday, June the 10th.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Enjoy, Gorilla.
How many shows are you missing?
At least I will miss editing 1 and I'll miss editing 2 and being present for 1.
I can edit the 2,
So-
and if you find time, you can always join us via StreamYard. If
I can always join you via StreamYard or phone call or whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
Sounds
Now
like
I just
fun.
now that I know the days, specifically what days I'll be where, I can start planning. Most of the days will be driving when I'm not in Kansas, but there will be time to stop 1 or 2 places and stretch my legs. So that's the next phase.
Good times.
But
Nice.
Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival is proceeding.
Very nice.
Beyond the Humidor will again be covering the event. As expected,
You just sound so enthused about it.
I'll get more excited as we get there.
did they sell out again?
So it's funny you say that. They sold out of VIP in probably less than 15 minutes, both the executive and the regular VIP. Believe it or not, as of looking this morning, there were still general admission and social general admission tickets available. Is that bad? No. If you can't get VIP, general admission isn't bad to go. The only difference is you get in an hour later, and some of the booths may be empty, but in general, it's a good time. So it's one of those where I really think that if you haven't gone, if you're thinking about going, get off your freaking ass and buy a ticket and go. I am not hard to miss. If you're a fan of the show and you're out there, find me and say hi.
He's the bald, lonely-looking guy.
I'll be there with a tall, 6'5" Larry lookalike with gray beard instead of brown, and we'll be having a good time.
You want to tell him? You want me to tell him?
You tell him.
It's red.
Oh, okay. You heard him.
Colorblind.
Yes, but I mean, it was as I expected for tickets. I mean, tickets are with the fee, it was $375 per ticket to get in.
No surprises there.
But it's a good time.
It's worth a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a couple that I think over the next few years we'll look into as a group again in different places. But if you're passionate about cigars the way we are, the events are a lot of fun. Whether it's a Cigar Aficionado event, a general cigar event with Cigars International at one of their locations, Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. Fuck, there's even a Smokelahoma that we had considered going to. Dallas has a 5-day cigar festival that they do. There's a 4-day event in Florida with the Great Smoke. So there's a lot of different events. Get out there, do some exploring, meet some other people. Your home shop ain't the only place out there.
Yeah.
Thank you. A little bit more Fat Albert in there.
He was kidding.
Or was I? What about the two of you?
What about me?
I mean, aside, we already pretty much touched on yours, which is you're hosting the Pat Walsh Show. So,
Yep, I've got, well, by the time this comes out live, I'll have one more on April 15th, 7 to 10 p.m.
Pacific Standard.
Thank you. On if you're local out here, it's AM 1530 and 93.1 FM. And you can always check it out on the free iHeart Radio app.
Yep. Subsequently, Beyond the Humidor is also on the free iHeartRadio app.
Very true.
Listen to both.
Good times.
And all the past shows are on there, so you can go back to the Pat Walsh Show and listen to the back catalog of all things that Pat's done, that Scott's done on there with Pat. I mean, the Halloween episode where they ghost hunted the studio was hilarious.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah. Go look it up. You can check it out.
Personally, I remember, because it was a Tuesday night, I was driving to the
Yes.
Scout meeting. Go to one of the very first, I think when the first week he did his show was Halloween week, one of his first episodes that people still bring up to him is what's the best Halloween candy?
Yes.
That show, I think he meant for it to be like maybe a 20-minute or half-hour segment. All 3 hours was essentially people calling in saying what their favorite Halloween candy was, and it was freaking wild. Go back and find that one if you have not listened to Pat's show, and if that episode doesn't hook you, it may not be for you, honestly.
So let's talk baseball for a minute.
Let's.
All right.
The gorilla just jumped off the bridge. So
Scott's following right behind him.
So we now have the A's in Sacramento.
We do.
And I know Pat Walsh and I think it was Kitty
Yes.
went out to opening night for the A's at Sacramento against the Cubs. And the Cubs just obliterated the A's.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, like
18 to 3?
Yeah. And then the next night it was like
12 to 3, or 12 to 2, and then 10 to 3 again the following night. It was a clean sweep for the Cubbies.
Yeah, the Cubs scored more runs the first 3 games than they scored in the last half of last season, for Christ's sake. Just beat the crap out of the A's. But, not a huge baseball fan per se, but it is nice to see another professional sport here in the Sacramento area. So they're playing at the River Cat Stadium down in West Sacramento.
What is it, Sutter Park?
Sutter Home Park,
Yeah.
yes.
There we go.
If I remember right, Larry, I did remember right. National League West. And dear friend Pat is in Italy right now, which is why you're helping host his show.
Yep.
So he won't homicide me when I say this. In the National League West, it goes as follows. The Giants are in first place, 8 wins, 1 loss. The Padres are in second place, 8 wins, 2 losses. The Dodgers are in third place, 9 wins, 3 losses. The Cubbies are in first place in the Central League, 8 wins, 5 losses, 3 of which at the hands of Oakland.
Oh.
And the Phillies are leading there. I'm not even going to fucking talk about my Red Sox because we went from first place in the division to dead last, and now we're sitting in third position. But,
How are the Milwaukee Brewers doing?
the Brewers, are they National League or are they American League?
I'm not real sure.
Hold on, I will find out. They are not showing up on here. The Mariners are in their usual place, last. The Athletics are second to last. White Sox, oh, surprise, last. But you want to know about Milwaukee Brewers. They're in second place in their division at 5-5. Unfortunately, that does not put them anywhere close to the top, so they'd be mid in the total league for the National League.
Yeah.
But, they're not doing horribly.
Was this just crap floating around on the internet, or is Cleveland changing their name back to the Indians?
I've not heard officially, but they would be the second sports team that are trying to change their name back. The Redskins want to go back to the Redskins. In fact, the tribe up in northern Washington up there is suing because the logo for the Redskins was one of their chiefs. So they want that back.
Yeah.
But the Indians, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they were trying to go back, because I don't care who you are, unless you're one of those woke jackasses, it'll always be the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, yeah, for 100%. 100%.
So I would love to see them change back, because Chief Wahoo, I mean, what are you going to do for your mascot for the Guardians? A Secret Service agent that can't put their weapon back in their holster?
That's cold-blooded.
But for those of you that didn't know, because I don't think we mentioned on the last show, I joined Pat from now my third year as the second or third place loser, but fourth year in the baseball prediction pool. The process is we have to pick the 6 teams from each division going into the World Series, who will win the ALCS, who will win the NLCS, and then who goes to the World Series and then wins the World Series. Pat Walsh has won it for 8 years in a row. So
It's fixed.
I'll just put it out there. I picked the World Series games to be the Dodgers and the Red Sox, but I picked the Dodgers to win because let's not be delusional. I mean, one of our members is so delusional of the pool. They think it's going to be a Giants Athletics World Series played in Sutter Home Park. That park is so fucking small.
Leave
they
Robin
will not
alone.
play a World Series game in a 14,000 seat stadium.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, her name is Robin.
Yes, I know.
Damn.
I love her to death, but
Haters gonna hate.
Giants fans, they're just odd.
Be careful drinking all that haterade.
Mm-hmm.
We got anything else?
I'll give quick Boat Boy update.
I was going to say, what about Boat Boy? We haven't heard
He
from him in a
has
couple episodes.
successfully made his circuit of the Pacific. His 2-month flew out to Japan, cruised to the West Coast, went up and down the West Coast, delivering Subarus to lesbians. That's what he said. They offloaded 105,000 tons of Subaru in Vancouver. Literally, he was working a car hauler.
The opinions expressed here on Beyond the Humidor on behalf of the gorilla may not necessarily contain our intent.
There are 1,100 happy lesbian couples now, thanks to Boat Boy. And then
You guys are worried about me.
and then they picked up farm equipment down in San Diego and went
Regular
out.
farm equipment or
Lesbian farm equipment? No, just regular farm equipment. As far as farm equipment and a lot of non-combat military equipment out to Honolulu and then out to the Philippines.
Czechoslovakia.
So, in fact, I believe he's back in town this week.
Nice.
Good times.
So, I'll be hanging out with Boat Boy this weekend because it's his dad's 50th birthday, and I've been invited.
Very nice.
Good times.
Very nice. I know, Larry, we will have a guest in the near future. Yard Dog Coffee's coming back?
They want to come back, yes, and they've only got less than 60 days before they leave, so we need to see about. I'll reach out to Zach and see if we open. Can we bring him in next recording, or we have somebody?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
And then, no Cub Scouting events coming?
We're in the run up to Campery, which is the one where all the troops in the local area go out to a big campground and do events on the Saturday, team events essentially with the patrols. And the theme this year is Viking. It's a Viking campery, so that's kind of the motif. So I think one troop is doing a lashing based event where you have to lash together a trebuchet, and we're doing a think like Pinewood Derby, but for boats. We're doing long ship regattas. The patrols have to come through, and they have a set time frame to build their long ship and have it run the course in as fast a time as they can. And I think one of the troops they have log rounds and tomahawks and all the certifications to do that. So it'll be a good weekend.
If we're ever attacked by the Saxons, we're calling him.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
But that's the chaos of this month is all the troop meetings are cool. How we because the whole goal is to earn the district's, it's called the Iron Troop Award, essentially cleanest campsite, best spirit, best performance at the events, all that jazz. And we are the reigning, I think, 3 years running Iron Troop for the district. So we're trying to clinch it again.
I wish I still had my Pinewood Derby car. I had a one that looked like, if we made it to look like a Formula One car.
Very cool.
It was fun. Years and years and years ago, before Gorilla even existed.
As far as you know.
It's potential.
Yeah, then after that, there's always scouting stuff. Lots of Eagle projects going on right now. Trip to the Eastern Sierras when all the wildflowers are blooming is in May. Summer camp in June, and then July is not either. Both events are happening, but some scouts are going out to Florida for the high adventure base down there. They're going to do scuba diving and sailing, which is insane. And then one of our alumni adult leaders is going to be hopefully leading a 50-miler canoe trek down the Sacramento River. So lots of scouting going on. So yay.
As the resident diver in the group, no. You.
Yeah, me. What about it?
Me, no.
No.
Nope, pass.
No diving for you?
No
Why not?
canoeing either. My inner ear doesn't like underwater very well, number one.
Okay, that'd be a problem.
Other than that, I don't know because I can't get down deep enough to. I mean, it's always been something I wanted to try, but just doesn't work.
I'm super excited. Literally, two of our older scouts, one of whom is having their Eagle Board of Review this week. They came to the troop last year and said, "Hey, we're gonna age out in like a year and a half. Can we go to Sea Base?" And it's like, the website, get the information, pitch it to the troop, and now there's 16. I think it's 12 kids, 4 adults. So 2 boats worth of our troop are going. So
Nice.
I'm excited. They're gonna have a good time.
So while you're still going, Gorilla, final thoughts on the judge.
It's all right. Like that. That's it. I've hit there's kind of a tight spot right here in the cigar, and I'm having trouble keeping it lit.
I'm kind of glad you said that because I have the same problem right now. I had great draw until this last 2 inches, and now it's tight.
But flavor-wise, it's still solid. I still stand by everything I said previously. It's not a bad cigar. Perfectly acceptable, especially at the price point.
Yep.
Would not mind putting this into rotation.
No, me neither.
I disagree with the rating, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just
If you're curious about us disagreeing with the ratings, go back to episode number 8, reviewing the reviewers. You'll get the idea. Mm-hmm. But what do you think down there?
I'm right there with the Gorilla.
I would normally be telling you guys at this point what we're smoking for the next show, but since we're going to have Zach on the program for the Yard Dog Coffee, hopefully, Fielder's Choice, what we're going to be smoking. I do have a project from Tommy as well. You guys are going to get Gorilla and I will know what they are, but you two get to figure it out. And
what?
There's going to be.
I don't like how this is going.
Hey, to be fair, I don't know what's going on. I was probably put in the loop, but completely forgot. So
Yeah.
The last time somebody tried to pull some shit like that, we ended up with quorums.
Yeah.
These are not quorums.
Or fighting cocks.
Well, yeah.
Well, cock-a-doodle-doo.
But yeah, so that's all I got. I mean, it's check the website out.
Okie dokie. Well, with that, Gorilla, take me home. All right, so cigar is getting close to the nub, and Scotch glass is empty, so I think it's about that time. I want to thank you for joining us this evening or this morning or whenever you pull this up. First glance of this will be on Sunday.
Yep.
So be sure to check it out. On behalf of all of us here, the Gorilla in the Gorilla Enclosure, Greg, Lawrence, and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumisCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Don't be a stranger. Let us know you're out there. Send all your mail over to info@LumisCigarCartel.com. I'm Scott Robinson. On behalf of all of us here, we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, stay healthy and safe as always, and good smoke, good drink, and good life. Take care now.
Rowdy.
Not yet.